Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome to Living World of Darkness, Rage Across New York. Today's scene is something that's perhaps a long time coming. Maeve has finally managed to get her thoughts about her, especially in regards to the largest of her brothers. And as such, she's gone and grabbed something out of the cabin, tucked it into her satchel, and actually, she has Addie in tow, though her player is not available right now. So she's leading her along, has warned her that she is going to essentially theurge someone. She's going to theurge the fuck out of him. And it's a good lesson for Addie to see the ways in which they can affect the nation around them without having to call upon the spirits or deal with the spirits. As such, Maeve will probably, at least at first, try the training grounds because that's the easiest place to find Nicholas. But he's a big, loud guy. It shouldn't take her too long to find him, even if he's not there.
Well, Nicholas is over at the puncher bag doing his daily, 1, 2, 3 jabs, you know, hard at work. And you can see right next to him on like a little banister, like a dress pants or some dress shirts and a dress shoes just laying there off to the side for some reason. And he just working out, just hitting the puncher bag, jab, stick, jab, left jab, you know, and he got a smile on his face. Training is what he do, so he's enjoying it.
Well, that's all well and good. Maeve will actually pause long enough to direct Addie to find herself a bench. Uh, Close enough to hear while she talks to Nicholas, but not close enough to be kind of invading their space as they're talking. And once Addie has headed in the direction of said bench, she'll meander her way over, bobbing her head to Nicholas should he glance her way, and will kind of stand offside and wait for him to finish.
He gets done with his jab and looks around, grab a little jug of water that he got in like a old milk carton and stuff, but it's water. And he looks, hey man, what's up?
Hey, Nicholas. So, you said you wanted to talk earlier, and I was a little angry. Wasn't in much of a place to be talking. But I've had a chance to sit and think. And well, you asked for wisdom, so I'm here to hopefully give you some.
Oh yeah, that's great. Yeah, no, yeah. So yeah. Right now I'm kind of the training, so you know, I could take a 5 minute or 10 minute break right quick for a fellow sister right quick. You know.
I'd appreciate it.
Oh yeah, yeah. What's up?
And she'll beckon him over and make room for him on the bench and, give it a pat. He doesn't have to sit down, but she at least wants him close enough that she can talk to him and be more properly earnest instead of, yelling across any
Mm.
particular distance.
He takes a sweet time, getting wiping himself off right quick, getting a swig of his water, and then he just go over there with his towel, takes the wraps off his hands right quick. What's up?
All right. So we're going to start this by me making you think a little bit. You said you wanted me to share my wisdom with you. In
Yes.
exchange, I want you to sit and think for a second and tell me, why do you think that as a theurge I do well? Why would you want my wisdom? What have I done to show you that I'm capable of giving you wisdom?
Huh. Let me think. Oh, uh, what can I say? You You do a lot of stuff for the spirits around the Sept. I mean, I don't really see you around lately, so I suggest you do work around the Sept. I mean, that's what you do. You seem like a real dedicated person.
And she kind of smirks a little. It's the easy answer. And she'll nod a little and kind of gesture him to continue to see if he can come up with anything else.
Didn't
She's
you?
not like grilling him. She's looking kind of expectantly, like she's encouraging him.
Didn't you summon that spirit last during the little lab raid? You know, did that whole shabanga bang type stuff with the snowstorms? Wasn't that you that did that?
Well, I didn't summon him. I actually can't summon spirits yet. I won't be able to do that until I'm a Cleith. I
Well,
had to
well,
go out and find the spirit and get up to where he would see me, to where he would address me. I had to approach him on his own footing.
yes, but you did. You showed courage and conviction, and that's why I want you in my pack when I become Cleo, and when you become Cleo.
Well, here's the thing. Here's what's. I know that you want wisdom about that whole thing with the gang, but first we need to work on you.
What about me?
I think that the thing that you are lacking that bothers me so much is a sense of balance. I would not be a good theurge if all that I did was go and make deals with spirits all the time. If I focused only on that one part of being a theurge, no pack would want me. I would not be regarded with, reasonably high esteem for a cub if all I did was go and constantly make deals with spirits. There's more to it than that.
Huh. Interesting. Interesting.
As a theurge, I am not only summoning spirits and making deals, but I am upkeeping the goodwill of the spirits by walking around the sept and offering chiminage at the shrines. I am helping my brothers and sisters by offering them wisdom when I have it to offer and when it's something that falls in my purview. I'm
Interesting.
taking strides to do more than just one thing. I may make talons, yes, but the things that I make are not for show to make me seem mighty. I'm making what is needed by my brothers and sisters so that should they fall, I can serve them without having to contact a spirit. I'm prepared. I can heal them, like I did with Aaron yesterday.
Yes. And your healing came and much needed too, because that was a mighty blow. And I didn't mean to do that, but sometimes I just don't know my strength at times, you know?
And she'll just very gently reach out. And if he doesn't like pull away or anything, we'll take his hand and using, once taking it by the wrist, lift it up just a little bit. And with her other hand, we'll kind of reach out and curl his fingers as if curling them into a fist. If you had thought, even just to make a fist rather than strike with your claws, you wouldn't have risked killing a Fostern.
Oh,
We can regenerate when you strike us with blunt things, when you strike us with mundane things, but when you strike us with your claws, he can't regenerate that. If you go overboard with a fist, it'll hurt, it'll stick a little, but if you go overboard with your claws, someone dies.
yeah. I should have thought that through a little bit more, but hey, you know, I'm a I learned from it. I surely
Well,
did.
here's the thing. What if you hadn't been so lucky? What if you had killed him? You have to think about what you're doing. There's more to being an Arun than just being the biggest and the strongest and striking the hardest. There's
Oh,
much more to it.
oh, what is there much more to it there? Tell me. I would like your opinion on my auspice right quick.
There is more to being an Arun than being the strongest. One of
Mm-hmm.
the things that Chino has going for him is that, yes, he
Ah,
can do a lot of damage for the sake of example, But Chino also knows when to strike and when to posture and when
You're
to
comparing me
intimidate
to
and when
somebody.
You wanted an example or you wanted
I
me
don't
to explain.
I don't like being
Excuse
compared to
you?
nobody. Yeah, I don't like being compared to nobody.
Nicholas, I am not comparing you to anyone. I'm offering you examples. If you feel
Mm,
badly enough to assume that I am comparing you and saying that you are lacking compared to that person, that is your own guilty conscience.
hmm Oh,
I'm
continue
giving
on.
you examples. If you want to hear the wisdom, you need to listen to it.
Oh, I am. Carry
The
on.
example is that there is more to being an Arun than constantly striking out. Sometimes it is wiser to hold back or to give the impression without actually striking because you can do more damage than the physical a swing at someone. On the other hand, you had someone like Talia. She had her own way of doing things too. And she spoke her mind, but she listened. She very, very rarely struck at anything unless she was directed to do so, unless it was of the worm. Even in play, she was very mindful of what she was capable of and what she was not.
Oh, oh, wow.
Even my strength in a theurge is knowing that there are things that are my strengths, knowing where my boundaries are, having faith in my skills, but knowing where they fall short and when to turn to someone else.
Mm, wise words and deeds. I have took. Hmm. What can I say?
If you want to be respected as an Arun, you need to do more than sit here on the training grounds and train constantly. There's more to it than that. You need to have the connections so that when more than one body is needed, there are people who will follow you, or who trust you, or who believe in you and will support you in other ways.
Hmm, hmm.
I have
But
Lucas. If I need something and it falls outside of my skill set, I know that at any time I can turn to Lucas and say, hey, I need to find out information about this, and I know this is what you're good at. Will you do it for me? I don't have to make deals. I don't have to jump through hoops. I just ask because I've taken the time to create that relationship with him.
yes, yes. Hmm. Indeed, indeed, indeed. You have.
So,
That's.
as an Arun, please take the advice and look to balance yourself. Because right now, yes, you can swing, you can do mighty damage, and you can swing mighty blows. But because you have
Thank you.
focused so hard on this, Nicholas, you are lacking in every other aspect of being an Arun.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold up. Hold up. I'm a soldier. I fight. I fight. And I fight. And I
A
train.
soldier follows order.
I can follow orders.
You still don't even remember how to properly greet another Garou,
I,
especially one of higher rank.
I do know how to properly greet. You just never seen me do it. He got to turn his head off like,
That's
hmm?
the point. When you went up and shook Aaron's hand, I was surprised that you weren't immediately reprimanded. That is not how you greet someone of higher rank. And you know better. I know you do because I was there for the same lessons.
Hmm, um, yes,
If you're a soldier, respect the chain of command.
I,
Respect the people that are higher rank than you, and give them the respect they deserve.
I do. I do. I do.
She quirks a brow.
Hmm, 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 hmm.
You don't give respect to people even your own rank, and I've seen the way you are acting around other Garou. You don't give them the respect that they've earned. We don't gain rank by just hanging out long enough. You have to do things. These people
Okay.
have done more than you have.
All right. All right. All right. All right. you're correct. You are most certainly correct. I need to do things, but I've been too busy on this Sept to do anything. So,
You've been too busy in this training ground.
oh, okay, all right. But you know where to find me. You know where to find me. I'll be in the training ground. You know where to find me. If some trouble goes down, I'm ready to kick ass and take names and claw bit. I'm ready to combat the worm wherever it goes and lies and sleeps, or wherever it goes. I'm ready to do that, and I'm ready to get down and dirty.
But that's all you're ready to do.
You damn right. That's all I'm ready to do.
Is that all you want to be? Is something that gets let off a leash when we need blinding amounts of violence and then shoved in the corner until we need it again?
Hmm. Hmm. That's
Let's
a
never
hard.
mind that, like Aaron said, there are a lot of people who are going to think twice about fighting alongside you.
Oh,
I
why
know
is
you're
that?
doing better, but you've still shown that you have problems with controlling yourself.
I
Excuse me?
I can control myself. You see, we're having a nice conversation right now.
Yes, but I am not another Arun, and I am not someone who's challenging you physically.
Oh, well, if that was another one, I kind of would have gave him the one too. Good sword swing every now and then, good friendly competition.
But that's. You shouldn't be worried about competing with your allies, with your Sept.
Well,
The
it's
only
it's
thing you should be worried about competing with is in fighting the worm.
I just need my chance to do that. That's what I'm looking for.
As long as you disrespect the people around you, you're not going to be given that chance. No one's going to step out and do you that favor
Well, that's one
when
valuable
you can't even
warrior.
respect. That is a valuable warrior that can't control himself according to past record
Ah,
and who
ah,
can't even be bothered to so much as tip back his chin,
that,
much less go belly up like you are meant to.
yes, pulling up the records, huh?
That is what people will think. It doesn't mean it's fair, but that is what people have seen because
Ah,
that is what you are showing them.
yeah, mm, yeah. Doesn't help that I'm a metis too, though. Yeah, doesn't help that.
I don't care what breed you are.
Ah,
There are different things that you
yes.
need to balance
Hmm.
than a Hamid or a Lupus. With
Oh,
A Lupus cub, they would need to spend time in Hamid and learn how to be one.
mm,
With Hamid cub, like me,
mm.
one of the first things Katori did to me was tell me that I was not allowed to leave my Lupus form for 3 days.
I guess.
I had to learn to balance between them. The problem is, all I can think is that being born Metis to being treated. Well, let me start over. One of the first things that I was taught by Garrett is that regardless of what I used to be, regardless of just being a farm girl until my first change, now when the situation calls for it, I'm essentially a monster.
Oh, you're a killing machine.
Nicholas, I'm being serious.
I'm being
This is what I'm
serious too.
talking about when I say disrespect.
I'm
If
not
you
being
want the wisdom,
disrespectful. I, I am accepting the wisdom.
you need to actually listen and not just try to laugh and joke about it. I had to learn that I was a monster. I'm not as big a monster as you are. I'm not as big a monster as Chino is or Olaf. But in the end, if I lose control, I can kill people.
Oh,
Not
and you
even on purpose.
and you.
It's horrifying to me. The difference is that I feel like you grew up being treated that way from the get go, and now you need to learn how to just be a person. You don't have to constantly think about fighting. You don't have to constantly think about being the biggest monster. You need to take time and learn how to just be a person.
Well, that don't help when I'm walking around with a always angry all the time. I mean, it doesn't help whatso bit.
I'm not talking about out in the city. I'm talking here. I'm talking with other Garou and with the kin. I'm talking about just acting like a normal person, learning how to be
But I
social.
am I am not a person. I am a fucking freak.
Regardless of what shape you were in when you were born, you're Garou. We have to balance everything. We have to balance between body and spirit. We have to balance between man and wolf.
And even as that, the nation still regards me as such.
Nicholas, do you think I judge you for being a menace?
Uh, You can smile in my face and judge me when you got your back turned to me.
That's why
I
I'm
don't know what you
asking.
think.
Do you honestly believe that you being a menace makes a difference to me, specifically?
I don't know. I ain't no mind reader.
It doesn't. You already suffer enough. I'm not going to make you pay for the sins of your parents. That's not right. When I judge you based entirely on your own actions. It doesn't matter if you were born on 2 legs, 4 legs, or born as a giant snarling beast. It doesn't matter. What I am judging is the way you're acting. And she'll finally turn aside and fiddle with her satchel, uh, flip it open, and she'll pull out a broken picture frame. And she will put it out, offering it out.
Get that out my face, please.
Have you forgotten this?
Don't show me that.
Why? What is bad about this? What is bad about you being happy and feeling like you're surrounded by people who care?
I hate it.
Why? What about this makes you feel bad? That it's drawn in crayon? Doesn't matter. That it's not drawn well? Doesn't matter. What matters is that you were so filled with joy to be here among us that you wanted to draw something. You wanted to make a mark. You wanted to find a way to show people just how happy you were, or to put it down on paper so that it was real. That's why I wanted it. That's why I kept it. It meant a lot to me that you could be that happy. The way you act now, you're like an entirely different person, and I'm proud of you for speaking more clearly. But if it's an exchange of speaking clearly versus knowing you as someone who was happy, able to do the exact same things, but happier and able to get along with the people around you, I'd rather have you stutter.
I was pathetic.
You weren't pathetic. There's nothing pathetic about being happy, about being able to laugh at yourself.
I let that weakness. It was a weakness.
What was weak? The fact that you couldn't speak clearly? The fact that you took joy in anything besides punching something?
I was pathetic.
I don't understand what you find pathetic about that. Every time we have a new cub and they come in and they find out what they are, but then find out that they're surrounded by other people who are like them, and they take joy in having brothers and sisters who are happy to teach them and spend time with them. Do you see them as pathetic? For finding a place they belong?
That Nicholas died in the sewers. That Nicholas got Talia killed.
That Nicholas was struck by something that made him thrall, which is unfortunate. But
And it
what
caused a
happened to
chain of events.
Talia? What happened to Talia? If I was going to try to lay the blame on anyone, which I'm not, because sometimes these things just happen. Sometimes terrible fucking things happen. This is part of the horror of our new lives. This is what comes with being a monster. But if I was going to blame anyone, I would give Travis a harsh look at for having so many Aruns and so few others. For having the two of you taking point when you had a Ragabash with you, and that is their duty. But what happened happened. Talia didn't die because you were a happy person. Talia didn't die because you stuttered or felt like you belonged
I
and
thralled
treated
down
us
there
like
and I
family.
caused the chain of events. That would happen.
What did you do?
I thralled.
Exactly.
I thralled. She may have seen it. I don't know. And she may
You're
have
not the
got.
only one who is thralled in this Sept. You are a cub. Mistakes were made, but I have frenzied. I've never thralled, and I won't pretend I have, but I mean, I've lost control of myself. And I attacked Lucas.
But I have lost control of myself one too many times.
You have. But the way to fix that isn't by acting like an asshole.
You got your ways. I got my ways now.
You can fix your problem with self control without having to treat everyone else like dirt. You are not the apple of Gaia's eye. There are many, many, many of us. And a lot of them have done a lot more than you have.
Just put the picture frame up.
Nicholas, at this point, I'm just disappointed. You are
Okay.
strong. You're very strong. You're a very good fighter. You've been a very good fighter the whole time you've been with us. And you were so happy and so playful, and I thought that you had a lot of potential. You had a lot of rage, but you had a lot of potential. The thing is, I trust you less now with this new attitude than I did when you didn't know any better. I knew you better then. I knew how you thought and how you felt because you didn't feel any shame in expressing it. But this whole talking like you're the biggest, baddest thing here, when you have the bad luck to be in a place where you have so much more to prove than anyone else at this point, I don't know what to make of you anymore. And she will go ahead and she's still holding the picture frame, but she's folded it on her lap, facing down. I do care about you, Nicholas, and I worry. It's why I get so mad. Because the last time someone talked the way that you're talking now, it was the way that Albert was acting after he made his mistake. I don't know why he felt like poking fun, poking at people's soft spots would somehow help. He seemed to think that he was doing the right thing all the time, but acting out like that, you're pushing people away. We're Garou. We run in packs. You don't need to put on a front all the time. It's not going to help. If anything, it's eventually going to start making people mad. There's nothing pathetic about being earnest. And I'm going to P&E and see kind of what state he's in and judge that before I take any action. If my dice will show up, that'd be really cool. There we go. So for 4 successes, how's Nicholas feeling? Is it showing through his sadness? Is it showing through his anger?
He kind of got like a very blank expression on his face. It's like he it's it's like a mixture of anger, sadness, regret, but it's just like a blank expression. But you know he is clearly trying to avoid looking at that picture. Even the frame, he's trying to like.
Okay, well then she will take it, and with the one hand, we'll set it on the far side of her lap, off behind her leg. And with the other hand, she's going to kind of tentatively, so that she can gauge his reaction to see whether he's going to veer, emotionally one way or the other. But she will try to very gently put it on his shoulder. Nicholas, I really worry about you, okay?
Yeah. I understand. Thank you.
Hey, I say all this because I miss you.
Yeah. I understand.
Why don't you come out of the training ground once in a while? Come hang out with us. I still have plenty of clay.
I'll think about it.
And she'll finally, she'll nod a little bit. And as things have gotten a little on the tense side, she'll kind of glance up and away to give him a second to do whatever composing himself he wants to do. Though after a minute or two, she'll kind of look over at the clothes and gesture that way. Getting dressed up?
The den father Olaf told me I should get well acquainted with the kinfolks. So so the Bonar kinfolks are having a little shindig I'm going to.
That's awesome. I mean, and of all the kinfolk, they're one of the ones they'll be blunt with you. They'll be straight up. They're good people.
I enjoy the two kinfolks that I met, which was Nancy and Marty.
Yeah? Tell me about them.
Nancy liked to offer sandwiches a lot. I think Lucas Raya makes her sandwiches, and Marty's just a good person in general.
Good. And hey, I know I got heated about it the last time it was brought up, but you know there's no shame in going to kinfolk when you need stuff, right? Even I do it. I'm pretty inoffensive as a Garou, though.
I understand.
And she'll kind of purse her lips. Think a bit. Hey, Nicholas, I'm sorry that came out that bad. Like, I know I just came down on you like a ton of bricks.
It's nothing. Nothing I can't handle.
No, you're a strong guy.
Yeah, I'm strong.
Just every now and then, if you do me that much of a favor, think about balancing things between socializing and fighting, between wolf and man, spend some time in either one, between spirit and body. It's important. If we neglect one side, well, things start getting bad.
Yeah. I'll do that.
And she kind of looks just idly off ahead and wrinkles her nose a bit. But she'll tuck the frame away. Finally stick it back in her satchel. And now that I've gotten this off my chest, truly, if you need my wisdom, if you want advice on something, and it's something I can help you with, all you have to do is ask. But I didn't feel right helping you without telling you the things that have been bothering me. It's not right to keep that back. Not when hopefully telling you about it can help. I think I owe you a couple smiles at this point. I already did, but if there's anything I can do for you, I'm not as big and as awesome and as experienced as Lily, but
Yeah. Kind of understanding that now. And you see that he's just kind of just looking straight ahead, forward, just looking.
Suppose I deserve that. But if anything, it's kind of the point. Lily can do a lot of things I can't. But I use the things I can do to do as much good as I can. No shame in that. Oh, and she'll go fishing around in her satchel again. I don't think I gave you one of these yet. Tell me if you ever use it. I'll give you a new one, okay? And she'll pull out a little gourd. She's wearing one herself. He'll recognize it. The guy's breaths are always little gourds, and she'd crumpled the one to heal Aaron the day before. And she'll fish it out and offer it to him. Just in case.
He, grabs it. Thanks. I may need it.
Any of us might. With any luck. You won't need it for yourself. Hopefully you'll be able to help someone else. And even if it comes down to you, it means you can get back up and you can keep fighting.
Of course, thank you.
And she'll smile a bit. It's not as bright as her usual, very earnest smiles, but she's trying. Did you like what happened with the whole address thing? Did you go back to Aaron to find out anything else?
I gave it to a more capable hands. I gave it to Olaf. Right.
Well, that was probably wise. I don't think any one of us has actually led a strike as cubs.
It was a foolish idea to think so.
Well, it was. And she kind of thinks about it, licks her lips for a second. It's the right idea, but it's just early to do it. You probably won't get a chance to actually lead on something until you're a Cleith, but I see why so many people suggested it.
We could hang out and you could probably let me drive. You still have your old car?
And, I mean, you can still go, and it's still a chance to prove that you have control of yourself and that you can be of value to whoever's leading. That's all most of us have done.
You are correct about that.
You'll get a shot. It may be a while. Probably won't be till you're Cleith, but you'll get a shot. And as long as you're wise enough to look to the people that have the strengths that you lack when the time is right to do it, you'll look all the better when your strength comes out in the end. You're going to mangle something, and they're going to sing about it. Don't worry. It'll happen.
Alright, just call this number when you get here.
I hope so.
Oh, I know so. Even if you're not going as some valiant leader, I mean, that will take time. Even if they just take you along for your sheer ability to put something on the ground. Sooner or later, you're going to do so fantastically that they can't ignore what you've accomplished. And it takes time to change people's minds. I'm still trying to change people's minds about me. I have the opposite of your problem, actually. She'll kind of smile. It's half-hearted as hell, but
And what is that?
well, I'd hope you would believe otherwise, but you might even agree. Every time we go on a mission, every time I go out and we fight, and I'm not front and center trying to tear something apart, I have people looking at me sideways. Between the other things I can do, between that and the chiminages that I have offered in order to make these healing items, I have to try to pull my weight without necessarily jumping in. I still do my part. When I have to, I'm the first there, but my strength isn't my teeth and claws. They're still, they're still teeth and claws. They can still do damage, but of all the things I can do, that is not the strongest. And at this point, there are people who think that I can't bring myself to do it.
Are you afraid to kill?
Well, no. I mean, I don't want to kill when there isn't a need to, but when the need is there, I will do what must be done. I don't like the idea of killing for sport, but when it comes to fighting the worm, I will do it. The difference is, if you and Olaf, and Chino, all these bigger, stronger, wilder folk are lined up and fighting this horrible worm monster. Let's say it happens to have a stroke of good luck and it strikes you so hard that it puts you on the ground. Do you think that it's wiser for me to try to jump in and take your place when I can't do half of what you can? Or for me to jump in to heal you, to get you back on your feet, and to let you take your spot once more?
To heal me and get me back into battle will be the wisest.
That's what I think. The thing is that most people aren't thinking that much into it, I don't think. They just see that I'm doing anything besides fighting. It makes more sense to me to get you back up and fighting than to have you down, and then, for all I know, the next time it swings, me down too. I'm not a front and center fighter.
Save and do it. Because who cares? Once you save, you save.
I mean, when that whole Weaver thing happened, I was the first one to jump in, which was horrifying, but necessary. So while you fight the image of being too ready to fight, I'm fighting the image of not being ready at all or not willing. She kind of shrugs. Kind of ironic, really.
Huh. Kind of poetic too.
Yeah. Makes sense, I guess. But it still kind of sucks. Because, I mean, yeah, people are wondering whether it's safe to have you fight beside them. Meanwhile, they feel like if I step up to protect their side, they can't trust me to hold my own weight. So, yeah.
Hmm.
And she'll finally knit her brow for a second and suddenly look rather thoughtful. Her eyes kind of, lilt upward like she's thinking. So, I have a thought.
What is that?
How about we do something of a trade-off?
That's what I would say.
And what's that?
Well, I already train with Olaf in the mornings, but until I get another job, I'm scurrying around a lot of the day, but I still have a little free time. How about I come here, and you can help me get stronger?
You can see a little smirk kind of appear on his face.
She'll
It
start
won't.
kind of smiling herself.
It won't be easy.
Nah, it never is for me. But in exchange, at some point during the day, you come out with me.
Coats and jackets are cool.
We'll spend some time in the Umbra, maybe spend some time in Lupus, maybe hang out with some of the kinfolk over at Belvedere. But in exchange, you spend some time out of the training grounds and out doing other things, learning other things.
Oh. Okay. All right. I'll
She'll
do it.
she'll put out a hand like almost cartoonish handshake style. Yeah?
Yeah. And he'll just take it.
She'll smile broadly and get her tiny hand shaken.
And he just, just looking, and then he kind of will smile a little, and then you kind of, see that he forced the smile back down to like a straight face.
Seems like a fair trade-off anyways. We'll both get better at the thing we're bad at.
Yeah.
I think you got the better half, because you get to actually kick my butt. I just get to make you feel slightly awkward.
I mean, you are no offense, a theurge, and you are 5 foot, no offense, nothing, and you probably will you
Go
probably
ahead.
will get the best of me because you're short and you have the advantage at my mid section all the way down.
Yeah, but I have the disadvantage of the fact that I hit you and you're like, oh, that tickles, and you hit me and I'll like fly halfway across the training grounds.
I can use 50% for the first
50%?
day.
Well, that's pretty generous. I'll take that.
Hmm.
I can be that humble. I can accept that.
Hmm.
Start with only one black eye. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. I'm thinking about I've been thinking a lot about the tribe that I probably would choose.
Yeah?
Yeah, I've been thinking about that lately.
I mean, it's important to think about. It's up to you which totem you talk to.
Yeah. Yeah. Most likely I want to be I want to protect people like Morty and Nancy. So I want to be more for the people, more for the kinfolk actually. So I'm thinking about being a bonar.
And she'll kind of tilt her head thoughtfully. I mean, it's a good idea, really. Maybe if you spend more time with them, you'll be a little happier.
Mm.
And you'll know you're doing good. You'll know you're doing right. Besides, I don't think any bonar is going to judge you for being what you are.
They were kind of like the first actual people who I talked to who didn't flinch.
Well, I mean, you're a big guy. You got a lot of rage. The kin, they don't go bananas, but they can still kind of feel it.
Yeah.
No, they're good people. Besides, it's kind of funny how few bonars I've met in a bonar sept. It seems suited. Actually, it makes me feel better.
Hmm.
Back when there were no children of Gaia, I was stretching myself real thin trying to keep an eye on my own kinfolk. And when things happened, the first thing I did was go to the Kagikin to make sure that there was some Garou who was speaking to them, who was keeping them in the know and taking care of them. And with the Bonars, there's Mama L. And I'm sure there are other Bonars around, but none I've really seen. It's good to know there'll be a Garou who is looking after them.
I'll make sure of that.
And she gives a firm little nod. I'd hate to see anyone try to mess with the Bonar kin once you're cleared.
I've already told them if they need any assistance of any variety of any kind, or if they just want to talk and socialize, I will be there for them.
I think you'll do right by him.
If I'm to be their protector, then I must do right by them.
Yes, you must. And if they ever have a problem that isn't something you can punch, we're here for you. Just because they're not Fiannakin doesn't mean I don't care. Same with most of us. At least most of the brothers and sisters we grew up with. That's something I need to teach Addie about, actually. She'll kind of glance back over her shoulder towards the little Black Fury over there. Well, not Black Fury, but the other little Theurge cub. So much Chiminage.
I guess the work of a theurge is never done.
No, it seems like the tactical way to do it. Make sure that all deals you make are things that you can upkeep, even if you have to do it all by yourself. Make sure they don't overlap. As soon as the whole thing with Winter was over, the next thing I knew, it was this. And the deal was Spring. Actually, you know what? If you're spending time with Bonars, you might actually be able to help me out.
And what is that?
Well, I've already started. I've gotten one done. But as part of my rite of passage, I had to go to, well, the Den of Spring, essentially. And the deal that I made with Spring in order to get the thing that I was meant to bring back, I offered to make sanctuaries for the wild in the city, gardens, places where wild spirits could find some relief in all of the weavertane of the city. I've talked to the Kagi-kin, I've talked to Lucas, talked to Aaron, got people looking around trying to find me places where I can make them. Thing is, I either have to do it really official-like, you know, where they're doing that whole beautify the city thing, or if the Bonar can know a place that isn't likely to get developed into anything else, a place where they're not going to come and tear it up, they may know some little bolt hole, some secret corner somewhere where we could plant, bring some of the wild back into the city. I'd owe you one if you manage to find something.
Hmm. You wouldn't have to owe me anything. I will help out with this.
I mean, no pressure if you can't find anything else. Goodness knows I haven't been able to, but it's something for you to talk about, I guess. I don't know, now I kind of feel selfish, but the Bonar kin are a good one to go to for it. And at this point, you'll have a better connection with them than I do.
I will make it my duty to have a connection with them.
She'll smile, give a pert little nod, like, yes, this is clearly what is right, type little firm nod.
Well, I know you have more important things you must attend to.
I got a missile launcher. Come here, let me
She'll kind of wrinkle her nose in a half second. You're still my brother. You still deserve at least a little more time. But yeah, I should probably get on with another lesson to Addie. And you have some fancy clothes to put on. Some people to hang out with. Though heck, you may do better just hanging out in your normal clothes. Bonar don't really stand on ceremony like some of them do.
Mm-hmm. And you see he makes sure he looks around, and he kinda is the training ground veil protected, actually. I know what it is, probably.
Oh yeah.
Okay. He kinda shifts into Krynos, grabs the clothes and start putting cuts on them. And then he turns back. I think I'll do some good.
I mean, the only Bonar I know of besides Mama L is Dizzy. Besides, weren't you people like, I mean, I didn't hear the whole story, but weren't you like door flinging buddies or something?
I like to speak to her, so yes, we was flinging doors.
Wish I'd been there for it, but I hope I did enough good from where I was.
You did quite enough good by just not summoning, asking the spirit to do such a thing, to summon that storm to help us.
I'm glad it had the effect it needed to. I'm glad it actually helped. I was kind of worried I was gonna fall off a bridge for nothing, you know? Okay, yeah. I should go do a thing and let you go do a thing and stop sitting here and leaving you in awkward silence because that's just weird.
Maeve,
Hmm?
can you leave the picture here for a little bit?
Yeah. You can bring it by whenever, or you can hold on to it, whatever makes you happy. Just don't, like, break it or anything.
No, I'm not.
And she'll smile and she'll go ahead and pull it back out. And she'll at least set it face down initially so he can kind of approach it on his own terms, as it were. Do you want the link to it again? They still have it.
Mhm. Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Mhm.
1 second. Let me just. Yes, I'm not a robot. Thank you, Internet. Whoop. Framed crayon drawing. Bloop. And for the sake of our dear watchers, I'll actually see if I can put it on for a second so that people know what in the world I'm on about. Just pull this thing up here. This would be the picture in question. And there's an actual link to it for you. But yeah, so Maebh will take the little frame with its cracked but not yet fully broken glass and just gingerly set it face down on the bench as she gets up so that he can either just kind of let it being around be enough of a reminder on its own or pick it up, look at it, whatever he likes.
He looks, just he kind of just start looking at his clothes a little bit, and then you see he looks at a little clock that he got, little old fashioned little bell
Like
clock.
pocket watch?
Yeah, he looks at
That's
it. And he just, I got 5 more minutes, 10 more reps, and he basically puts back on like the wraps around his hand, and goes to the weight bench.
Well, have fun with that. And she'll kind of eyeball the number of weights on it and just imagine to herself how it's going to be like her just trying to lift the pole or something. It's
Yeah,
going to be
he
sad.
at 6'7", he's equivalent to 330. So basically, he's bench pressing his own weight, which is 330 pounds plus some. That's like an average uh linebacker tight end
So there's all the
weights.
plates on there.
Yeah. Though you see literally like the bar is bending.
Yep. She'll look over and just kind of cringe for a second and be like, well, you have a good time. I'm going to go do something I'm good at.
Sure. Don't be late. 5 o'clock. Sharp.
Okay. And she'll bob her head and finally go ahead and head back over to collect Daddy and gesture off in whatever direction. She obviously had somewhere she planned to take her and wander off with her, chit-chatting idly as they do.
And
Any final thoughts? Anything else? Oh, there you go.
well, after he get done with the weights, after they gone, he kind of goes up to the picture frame, and he kind of looks at it and smiles, and a tear comes down his face, and he walks over with the picture frame and basically sits it up a little bit where he usually trains at, and then he just
Aw.
he just start putting on his clothes, and then put on his little raggedy top hat, and he's about to entertain.
Fantastic. Well, on that surprisingly touching note, we'll say thank you, watchers, for watching. I see you. Thank you, player, for playing. And we'll see you next time, where hopefully Maeve doesn't scold the shit out of someone. Jeez.